Gucci, Chanel, Dior, Prada. 4 brands that spend billions on marketing and dominate every conversation about luxury eyewear. Here is what most people don't know. The majority of those frames are produced through the same industrial pipeline, and the premium is for the logo, not the craft. These 7 brands are the ones that serious buyers have quietly known about for years. Starting with brand number 1. Every industry has a ceiling that most consumers never reach. In luxury eyewear, Jacques-Marie Mage is that ceiling. Founded in Los Angeles in 2014 by French designer Jérôme Mage, JMM operates on a principle that is almost extinct in modern luxury. Every model is produced in a limited run and never reissued. When a style sells out, it is gone permanently. There is no restock, no second wave, no archive re-release. That is not a marketing tactic. It is the foundational philosophy of the brand, and it shapes everything from the design process to the materials to the price. The frames are produced in Japan, where the standard of precision manufacturing in eyewear is higher than anywhere else in the world. The materials used, beta titanium, mazzucchelli acetate, hand-painted enamel detail, are not the materials found in department store luxury frames. He Spoke Style described JMM as simply the highest quality frames you can get, a step above anything from Gucci or YSL. That assessment is not enthusiasm. It is a technical observation about construction quality. GQ called the brand the sunglasses that are changing the face of pop culture. Reddit collectors describe them as among the most beautiful sunglasses I've owned, perfect enameling, fit, and finish. YouTube reviewers with extensive comparative experience use the phrase completely overbuilt, meaning the construction quality significantly exceeds what the price would require. In luxury goods, that excess is the point. The reason JMM remains underrated in the mainstream market is deliberate. There is no advertising budget, no social media push, no placement strategy in department stores. Exclusivity here is achieved through scarcity and craft, not through controlled retail access and waitlists. The audience finds the brand does not chase the audience. Limited editions from JMM appreciate on the resale market, which places it in a category occupied by almost no other eyewear brand at any price. If you want the safest entry point into the brand, look at the Molino or the Akira first. Now, if Jacques-Marie Mage is the ultra-exclusive collector's choice, this next brand is quiet luxury in its purest form. Cutler & Gross has been making frames in a handmade Italian atelier since 1969. The client list over those decades: Madonna, David Bowie, Rihanna, Kate Moss, Lady Gaga, Elton John, is not a recent development. It is a 50-year record of creative people choosing the brand for reasons that have nothing to do with logo recognition and everything to do with what the frames actually are. The brand was founded in Knightsbridge, London, by opticians Graham Cutler and Tony Gross. Every frame is handmade in a specialized Italian atelier, not assembled in volume production, not manufactured through a licensed third party. The construction is artisanal in the precise sense of the word, made by hand, by skilled craftspeople, one frame at a time. That process is almost entirely absent from the mainstream luxury eyewear market, where even prestigious brands outsource production to industrial facilities. The design references are not trend-driven. Cutler & Gross draws from Japanese tattoo art, from the aesthetic of late 1980s New York, from cultural moments that have no seasonal expiry. The result is a catalog of frames that look current regardless of when they were designed, because they were never designed to be current. They were designed to be right. GQ UK has described the brand as one of the best eyewear makers of all time. In the United States, it remains almost entirely unknown, which is a function of geography and marketing spend, not quality. The absence of French luxury positioning means it does not receive the cultural deference automatically extended to Chanel or Dior, despite producing frames that exceed them on craft grounds. Trustpilot reviews consistently highlight the customer service alongside the product quality. The brand's own description of its aesthetic, luxury without tacky logos, the look of luxury without announcing it, is accurate and rare. The 0770 Round Acetate and the Midnight Rambler are probably the strongest examples of what the brand does best. Cutler & Gross focuses on handmade craftsmanship, but the next brand proves understated luxury can still feel incredibly fashion-forward. Bottega Veneta is one of the most recognized luxury brands in the world. Its sunglasses are one of the best-kept secrets in that same world. The brand is known for the intrecciato leather, for the bags, for the shoes, for the quiet luxury positioning that has made it the reference point for understated wealth dressing. What the majority of shoppers do not consider is that the same design philosophy, no logo, no exterior branding, no visible signal of status, applies to the eyewear collection with equal precision. Under Mathieu Blaisy's creative direction, the eyewear operates on the same principle as the rest of the house. Material quality and proportion carry the entire weight of the design. There is no monogram on the temples, no brand name embossed across the lens. The frames are identified by shape and construction alone, which means that wearing them signals an entirely different kind of knowledge than wearing a logo-heavy alternative. The materials are Italian acetate and titanium of the same specification used across the brand's broader accessories line. The price point, $380 to $800, is comparable to Gucci eyewear, which is produced through a different manufacturing pipeline and carries significantly more visible branding. The value proposition is not subtle. The same investment, significantly better materials, no logo tax. Google Trends data shows remarkably low search volume for Bottega Veneta sunglasses. The eyewear line exists largely outside the awareness of even engaged fashion consumers. The brand's tote bags and shoes absorb the cultural conversation, and the eyewear benefits almost none from the halo effect. That gap between brand recognition and eyewear awareness is exactly the opportunity. The 2025 releases, the BV1322S Cat Eye and BV1324S Square, feature the signature metal ribbon detail that reads immediately to insiders and remains entirely quiet to everyone else. The BV1322S Cat Eye and the Drop Aviator capture the brand's quiet luxury aesthetic especially well. Bottega keeps things minimal and modern. Oliver Peoples takes a more timeless Hollywood approach. Oliver Peoples was founded in West Hollywood in 1987 and built its entire reputation without a single advertising campaign. Barack Obama, Robert Downey Jr., Jennifer Aniston, Keira Knightley. The brand has been on the faces of culturally relevant people for nearly 4 decades. The mainstream consumer market has almost entirely failed to notice. The frames carry no exterior logos. The brand runs no mass-market advertising. The distribution is deliberately selective. These are not failures of strategy. They are the strategy, and they have produced a brand with more genuine credibility in professional and creative circles than almost any mainstream luxury eyewear name at 3 times the price. The technical credentials are worth stating clearly. Oliver Peoples lenses are sourced from Barberini in Italy, one of the most prestigious lens manufacturers in the world, used by a very small number of luxury eyewear brands. The frames themselves are produced in custom cellulose acetate and premium Japanese titanium. The detail work on the hinges, the acetate finishing, the lens optical quality, all of it operates at a standard that the Luxottica-produced designer brands do not match at comparable price points. It is worth noting that Oliver Peoples is owned by Luxottica, but ownership and production are different things. The frames are manufactured in Italy to specifications that are distinct from the broader Luxottica production model, and the material sourcing reflects that separation. In 2026, the brand reintroduced frames inspired by Paul Newman's personal collection, which is the kind of cultural reference that generates immediate relevance without requiring any explanation to anyone who understands the context. A Reddit thread titled, "Why is Oliver Peoples so underrated versus Moscot and Garrett Leet?" is telling. When even engaged eyewear communities are asking the question, the mainstream gap is significant. If you want the classic Oliver Peoples look, the Layla and the Rowella are great places to start. Bottega keeps things minimal and modern. Oliver Peoples takes a more timeless Hollywood approach. Alum eyewear is what happens when someone builds a luxury brand without making a single compromise on craft and then declines to tell anyone about it. Alem Manai-Plat grew up in Paris, studied at the Sorbonne, and built her brand in Los Angeles. Every frame is handmade in France. Not assembled in France, not designed in France, and manufactured elsewhere, but constructed by hand in a French atelier from Mazzucchelli vintage acetate. Mazzucchelli is the most respected acetate manufacturer in the world. It is the material of choice for the highest tier of handmade eyewear globally. And it is not cheap, and it is not easy to work with, and Alem uses nothing else. The lenses are Divel Italia anti-reflective, another specification that places the brand in a very small category of manufacturers who treat the optical component of sunglasses with the same seriousness as the frame itself. Most luxury eyewear brands at this price point do not. Reddit's r/eyewear enthusiasts describes the frames as follows: beautiful faceted acetates, great shapes, thick and solid cuts. The gold frames are refined and elegant. That is a community of people who examine eyewear closely and compare across the full market. Their assessment carries weight precisely because it is not promotional. The silhouettes are genuinely original. The Place des Alpes, a leaf-shaped frame with twisted metal detail, is the kind of design that does not exist in any other catalog. The brand produces shapes that cannot be approximated by looking at competitor offerings. That originality, in a market where most frames iterate endlessly on the same handful of templates, is genuinely rare. The brand remains niche in 2026 because it has no marketing budget, no US distribution infrastructure, and a name that carries no automatic recognition for American buyers. All three of those conditions are the buyer's advantage, not the buyer's problem. The Place des Alpes is probably the most interesting frame in the entire collection, but the Pigalle is the easiest everyday entry point. Alsem is all about handmade craftsmanship. Chopard enters an entirely different lane, luxury eyewear as actual jewelry. Chopard has been a Swiss watchmaker and jeweler since 1860. Most American women know the watches. Almost none of them know the eyewear. And that gap is where the opportunity sits. The Chopard eyewear collections are not a licensed side category managed by a third party. They are an extension of the house's core jewelry philosophy, designed with the same standards applied to the watches and the high jewelry pieces. The Happy Diamond collection, which features actual moving diamonds set within the temples of the frame, is not a marketing concept. It is a feat of precision engineering applied to eyewear, produced to the exacting tolerances of Swiss haute joaillerie. This is a fundamentally different category of object from anything else on this list. JMM and Barton Pereira represent the ceiling of craft eyewear. Chopard represents something adjacent but distinct, frames conceived as jewelry first, as eyewear second, with a price and construction standard that reflects that hierarchy. The Ice Cube collection translates the brand's geometric jewelry language directly into frame architecture. The Imperial collection is the closest the brand comes to classical luxury eyewear, still unmistakably Chopard, still built to jewelry standards, but wearable across a wider range of contexts than the Happy Diamond pieces. YouTube reviewers describe it as a little less well-known than Cartier, but the most flashy, most statement ladies sunglasses available. That positioning, below Cartier in name recognition, at or above it in design ambition, is exactly the underrated dynamic this list is built around. The Summer Season 2026 collection is available now, with entry points from $507 at sale pricing. If you really want to understand what makes Chopard different, look at the Happy Diamond collection first. And finally, this last brand might be the biggest insider secret on the entire list. Barton Pereira was founded by the two people who built Oliver Peoples. When Bill Barton and Patty Pereira left that brand, they did not move toward a larger operation or a more commercial model. They moved in the opposite direction. Smaller runs, stricter quality control, fewer compromises, higher standards. The result is a brand that produces frames in Japan to a specification that the founders describe as obsessive. That word is not self-promotion. It is confirmed by the product. The hinge work, the acetate finishing, the weight distribution across the frame, the optical lens quality. Every element is executed at a level that the mainstream luxury market does not approach. He Spoke Style, one of the most technically credible menswear publications covering eyewear, called them the highest quality frames you can get, a step above anything from a designer house like Gucci or YSL. That is the same assessment they gave JMM, and the comparison is instructive. Both brands occupy the absolute upper tier of what eyewear construction can achieve. The cultural credentials are building in ways that matter. The Fear of God, ex-Barton Pereira collaboration, demonstrated relevance at the intersection of fashion and luxury that most heritage eyewear brands cannot access. Elalai documented the brand's effect on its readers with a precision that marketing rarely achieves. Every time I wear them, I'm showered with compliments. My mom and sister both immediately went out and bought the same pair. That is word of mouth operating exactly as it should. Resale performance on the real places. Barton Pereira frames at up to 40% value retention, which is exceptional in the eyewear category, where most frames retain almost nothing. That number reflects genuine demand in the secondary market, which is the most honest signal of a brand's actual standing among people who know what they are looking at. The brand is found almost exclusively in high-end independent opticians and specialist boutiques. There is no mass retail presence, no airport flagship, no department store placement. For buyers who understand what the brand is, that scarcity is a feature. For buyers who don't know the name yet, the discovery is the advantage. The Deja Vu and the Heiress are two of the clearest examples of why Barton Pereira has such a loyal following among eyewear collectors. Which one of these brands were you genuinely surprised by? Drop it in the comments.